You are sitting there right now, worried about when things will get better. You are thinking about all the people you wish were in your life. You are wondering when the money will come, when the opportunities will show up, when life will finally start working for you instead of against you. I want you to stop that thinking right now. Stop it, because it is working against everything you truly want. The universe is not your enemy. Life is not trying to keep good things away from you. Every single thing you have ever desired is already on its way to you. The right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances, the luxuries you dream about, they are all moving toward you at this very moment. But here is what happens when you worry and stress and push and force. You create resistance. You block the very flow that is trying to bring you everything you want. Think about a river flowing downstream. When the water meets a rock, it does not fight the rock. It does not stress about the rock. It simply flows around it and continues on its path. The water trusts that it will reach the ocean. It knows that downstream is the only direction that matters. You need to become like that water. You need to trust the flow. Right now, as you listen to these words, there are people getting ready to meet you who will change your life forever. There are opportunities being prepared that have your name written all over them. There are experiences being arranged that will bring you more joy than you can currently understand. But all of this requires one thing from you. You must relax into it. You must allow it. You must stop pushing so hard against life and start flowing with it. When you wake up in the morning and immediately start thinking about everything you do not have, you are sending out a signal that says, I am lacking. When you spend your day worried about money, you are telling the universe, I do not trust that I will be provided for. When you feel lonely and desperate for connection, you are broadcasting, I am incomplete without someone else. These signals create more of exactly what you do not want. But when you wake up and feel grateful for what is already in your life, when you trust that your needs will be met, when you feel complete and whole on your own, you send out entirely different signals. You tell the universe, I am ready to receive. You say, I trust the process. You declare, I am whole and complete, and I welcome more goodness into my life. This is not about positive thinking for the sake of positive thinking. This is about understanding how energy works. Everything is energy. Your thoughts are energy. Your emotions are energy. The people around you are energy. Money is energy. Love is energy. When you align your energy with what you want instead of what you fear, you become a magnet for everything good. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The people you are meant to be with, the ones who will truly understand you and support you and love you for who you really are, they are not the people you have to chase. They are not the people you have to convince or persuade or change yourself for. The right people will be drawn to you naturally when you are being your authentic self. They will show up in ways that feel easy and natural and right. You have been taught to believe that you have to work hard for everything, that you have to struggle and fight and compete for every good thing in life. This is not true. Yes, you must take action. Yes, you must do your part. But the kind of action I am talking about is inspired action. It is action that feels good. It is action that comes from a place of excitement and joy rather than fear and desperation. When you are in alignment with who you really are, when you are living from your authentic self, the right action becomes obvious. You will know what to do and when to do it. You will meet the right person at exactly the right time. You will hear about the perfect opportunity just when you need it. You will find yourself in the right place at the right moment again and again. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is the way life works when you stop fighting it and start cooperating with it. I want you to think about the best things that have ever happened to you. Think about the people who have had the most positive impact on your life. Think about the opportunities that have brought you the most joy and fulfillment. How many of those came to you when you were stressed and worried and trying to force things to happen? How many came to you when you were relaxed and open and trusting? I am willing to bet that most of the best things in your life came to you in moments when you were not desperately seeking them. This is because desperation repels what we want. When we are desperate for love, we attract people who are not capable of truly loving us. When we are desperate for money, we make poor financial decisions that keep us struggling. When we are desperate for success, we often compromise our values and end up feeling empty even when we achieve our goals. But when we are in a state of relaxed confidence, when we know that we are worthy of good things and we trust that they will come, we attract very different experiences. We attract people who are also confident and secure. We attract opportunities that align with our values. We attract abundance that feels natural and sustainable. The luxury you desire is not just about material things. True luxury is having the freedom to be yourself. True luxury is feeling peaceful and content regardless of what is happening around you. True luxury is knowing that you are loved and supported by the universe itself. True luxury is understanding that you have everything you need within you to create the life you want. But so many people are looking for luxury in all the wrong places. They think luxury means having expensive things or living in fancy places or being seen with important people. Real luxury is much simpler than that. Real luxury is feeling good about yourself. Real luxury is having time to do what you love. Real luxury is being surrounded by people who appreciate you for who you are. Real luxury is knowing that you are exactly where you need to be in this moment. When you understand this, when you really get it, everything changes. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop forcing and start allowing. You stop worrying about when things will happen and start enjoying what is happening right now. Here is what I know about the right people. They will find you when you are being your true self. Not the self you think others want you to be, not the self you present when you are trying to impress someone, your true self. The self that laughs at things others might not understand, the self that gets excited about things others might think are impossible. When you are living as your authentic self, you send out a signal that can only be picked up by people who are meant to be in your life. You become visible to those who will truly see you and appreciate you and support you. This is how you find your tribe. This is how you find your people. Not by pretending to be someone you are not, but by having the courage to be exactly who you are. And here's what I know about opportunities and abundance. They flow to those who are in alignment with their purpose. When you are doing what you love, when you are using your natural gifts, when you are contributing to the world in a way that feels meaningful to you, the universe responds. Resources appear, doors open, people show up to help you, money flows more easily. This is not magic, though it might feel like magic. This is the natural result of being in harmony with life. You might be thinking, but I do not know what my purpose is. I do not know what I am supposed to be doing. That is okay. You do not need to know everything all at once. You just need to pay attention to what feels good to you. What activities make you lose track of time? What subjects could you talk about for hours? What problems do you naturally want to solve? What kind of people do you feel most comfortable around? The answers to these questions will point you toward your purpose. Your purpose is not necessarily your job, though it might be. Your purpose is the way you naturally contribute to the world. It is the unique combination of talents and interests and perspectives that only you have. When you start honoring this, when you start living from this place, everything else begins to fall into place. But here's the key. You must trust the timing. You must trust that everything is happening exactly when it is supposed to happen. The delays you have experienced are not punishments. They are preparation. The waiting periods are not wasted time. They are necessary for you to become ready for what is coming. Think about it this way. If you had received everything you wanted 5 years ago, would you have been ready for it? Would you have had the wisdom to handle it well? Would you have been able to appreciate it fully? Probably not. The experiences you have had, both good and challenging, have prepared you for what is coming next. They have given you the strength and wisdom and compassion you will need. Right now, while you are reading these words, the universe is arranging things on your behalf. Someone somewhere is thinking about you in connection with an opportunity you would love. Someone is preparing to enter your life who will become a dear friend, or maybe even more than a friend. Something is being set up that will solve a problem you have been worried about. Money is moving in your direction through channels you cannot yet see. This is not wishful thinking. This is how life works. When you understand the principles of attraction and alignment, when you are clear about what you want, when you believe you deserve it, when you are grateful for what you already have, and when you take inspired action toward your goals, you become irresistible to the very things you desire. But you must be patient. You must trust the process. You must remember that the universe operates on perfect timing, not your timing. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean it is not going to happen. Just because you cannot see the path clearly does not mean there is no path. Just because it feels like nothing is moving does not mean everything is not being arranged perfectly behind the scenes. The people who achieve the most satisfaction in life are not necessarily the ones who get everything they want immediately. They are the ones who learn to enjoy the process. They are the ones who find ways to be happy while they are waiting for their dreams to manifest. They are the ones who trust that everything is working out for their highest good, even when they cannot see how. This requires a shift in perspective. Instead of thinking, when will I get what I want, start thinking, what can I enjoy about where I am right now? Instead of asking, why has not this happened yet, start asking, what is this experience teaching me? Instead of worrying, what if it never happens, start believing it is all working out perfectly. When you make this shift, when you start looking for reasons to feel good instead of reasons to worry, you change your energy. And when you change your energy, you change what you attract. You start attracting people who feel good. You start attracting opportunities that feel good. You start attracting experiences that feel good. This does not mean you will never face challenges. This does not mean everything will always go exactly as you plan. But it does mean that you will handle challenges from a place of strength rather than fear. It means you will see setbacks as setups for comebacks. It means you will trust that even the difficult experiences are serving your highest good in some way. The right people are not just coming to you for your benefit. You are also the right person for someone else. There is someone out there who needs exactly what you have to offer. There is someone who will be inspired by your story. There is someone who will be helped by your unique gifts and talents. When you focus on being the best version of yourself, when you work on healing your own wounds and developing your own gifts, you prepare yourself to be of service to others. Now, this is one of the most beautiful aspects of personal growth. As you become more of who you really are, you naturally become more valuable to others, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because authenticity is attractive. Genuine confidence is magnetic. When you are comfortable in your own skin, others feel comfortable around you. When you are at peace with yourself, you bring peace into every situation you enter. The luxuries that are coming to you are not just material comforts, though those may come too. The real luxuries are things like freedom from worry, confidence in yourself, meaningful relationships, work that fulfills you, and a sense of purpose that gets you excited to wake up each morning. These are the luxuries that money cannot buy, and yet they often lead to material abundance as well. When you have inner peace, you make better decisions. When you feel confident, you take advantage of opportunities that fearful people miss. When you have meaningful relationships, you have a support system that helps you through difficult times and celebrates with you during good times. When you do work that fulfills you, you naturally become better at it, which leads to greater success and recognition. When you have a sense of purpose, you have the energy and motivation to persist through challenges that stop other people. All of this is available to you right now. Not someday in the future, but right now. You can choose to feel peaceful right now. You can choose to be confident right now. You can choose to be grateful for the relationships you already have right now. You can choose to find meaning in whatever work you are currently doing right now. When you make these choices consistently, day after day, you create momentum. Things begin to shift. Opportunities begin to appear. People begin to notice you differently. You begin to feel differently about yourself and your life. This is not about pretending everything is perfect when it is not. This is about choosing to focus on what is working instead of what is not working. Every single day you have countless opportunities to practice this. When you wake up, you can choose to think about what you are grateful for instead of what you are worried about. When someone asks how you are doing, you can choose to focus on the positive aspects of your life instead of complaining about your problems. When you face a challenge, you can choose to ask, how can this serve me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? These might seem like small choices, but they have enormous impact over time. They change your energy, They change how others perceive you. They change what you attract into your life. They change who you become. The right people can sense this energy. They are drawn to people who feel good to be around. They want to spend time with people who lift them up rather than drain them. They want to do business with people who are positive and solution-focused. They want to be in relationships with people who are growing and evolving and becoming better versions of themselves. This is why personal development is so important. Not because there is something wrong with you that needs to be fixed, but because there is something wonderful within you that wants to be expressed. When you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, you become attractive to the best opportunities and the best people. But you must be patient with this process. You must understand that growth takes time. You must be willing to do the work even when you cannot see immediate results. You must trust that every step you take toward becoming more authentic, more loving, more confident, more peaceful is bringing you closer to the life you want. Sometimes the right people and opportunities come in disguises. Sometimes they do not look like what you expected. Sometimes they come through channels you never would have predicted. This is why it is so important to stay open. This is why it is so important not to be too attached to exactly how things should happen. When you have a rigid idea of how your good should come to you, you might miss it when it arrives in a different package. The person who becomes your best friend might initially seem like someone you have nothing in common with. The opportunity that changes your life might come from a source you never would have considered. The luxury you end up enjoying the most might be something you never even knew you wanted. Life has a way of surprising us with gifts that are even better than what we originally asked for. This is why surrender is so important. Surrender does not mean giving up. Surrender means letting go of the need to control every detail of how your good comes to you. It means trusting that there is a wisdom greater than your own that is working on your behalf. It means being open to receiving your good in whatever form it takes. When you truly understand this, when you really get that the universe is friendly and supportive and wants you to succeed, everything becomes easier. You stop pushing so hard. You stop worrying so much. You start enjoying the process of becoming who you are meant to be. You start appreciating where you are while you are moving toward where you want to be. This does not mean you become passive. This does not mean you stop taking action. But your action comes from a different place. Instead of desperate action driven by fear and lack, you take inspired action driven by excitement and possibility. Instead of forcing doors to open, you gently try the handle and find that many doors are already unlocked. The people and luxuries that are meant for you will recognize you when you are being your authentic self. They will be attracted to your energy. They will want to be part of your life. You will not have to convince them or persuade them or change yourself to accommodate them. They will fit naturally into your life like puzzle pieces that have been waiting to find their place. But you must first become clear about what you really want. Not what you think you should want, not what others expect you to want, what you actually want. What would make you feel truly fulfilled and happy? What kind of people do you want to spend time with? What kind of experiences do you want to have? What kind of impact do you want to make? When you get clear about this, when you can feel it in your body rather than just think about it in your head, you begin to attract it automatically. Your energy changes, your decisions change, your actions change. You begin to move in the direction of what you want, and what you want begins to move in your direction. This is not about being selfish. When you are truly happy and fulfilled, you have more to give to others. When you are living your authentic life, you inspire others to do the same. When you are receiving the love and abundance you deserve, you naturally want to help others receive theirs as well. The world needs you to be who you really are. The world needs your unique gifts and talents and perspective. The world needs the contribution that only you can make. When you hold back, when you play small, when you deny your own desires and dreams, you deprive the world of what you have to offer. So relax. Trust the process. Know that everything you need is already on its way to you. The right people are coming, the right opportunities are being prepared, the luxuries you deserve are moving toward you. Your job is simply to be ready to receive them by being the most authentic, loving, confident version of yourself that you can be. Stop looking at your calendar and wondering when things will change. Stop checking your bank account and worrying about money. Stop scrolling through social media and comparing your life to others. Instead, focus on what you can control right now. Focus on how you can be a little more yourself today than you were yesterday. Focus on how you can be a little more loving today than you were yesterday. When you do this consistently, when you make this your primary focus, everything else takes care of itself. The right people show up at exactly the right time. The money comes through unexpected channels. The opportunities appear out of nowhere. The luxuries arrive in ways that feel like gifts from the universe. This is not magic, though it might feel magical. This is simply how life works when you align with its natural flow instead of fighting against it. This is what happens when you trust instead of worry, when you allow instead of force, when you appreciate instead of complain. Your good is coming. It is already on its way. All you need to do is relax and let it arrive. The most successful people I have observed throughout my life share one common trait. They understand the power of inner stillness. They have learned to quiet the constant chatter in their minds that tells them they are not doing enough, not moving fast enough, not achieving enough. They have discovered that in the silence between thoughts, in the space between breaths, lies infinite potential. This is where all creation begins. This is where miracles are born. You see, most people live their entire lives in a state of mental noise. Their minds are constantly racing from one worry to another, from one problem to the next. They wake up thinking about their to-do list and fall asleep replaying their mistakes. This mental chaos creates a barrier between them and the very things they desire most. It is like trying to hear a whisper in a room full of shouting people. The message cannot get through. But when you learn to quiet your mind, when you learn to find that peaceful center within yourself, something remarkable happens. You begin to hear the subtle guidance that has been trying to reach you all along. You start to notice opportunities that were always there, but were hidden by the noise of your worried thoughts. You become aware of synchronicities and coincidences that point you in the right direction. This inner stillness is not something you have to create. It is already there, waiting for you to remember it. Underneath all the mental chatter, beneath all the emotions and reactions and judgments, there is a part of you that is always calm, always peaceful, always connected to the source of all good things. Your job is not to create this peace. Your job is to remove the obstacles that prevent you from experiencing it. The biggest obstacle is usually your belief that you have to figure everything out with your mind. You think you have to analyze every situation, predict every outcome, plan for every possibility. This kind of thinking keeps you trapped in a cycle of worry and stress. It prevents you from accessing the intuitive wisdom that knows exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. True wisdom comes not from thinking harder, but from thinking less. It comes from learning to trust the intelligence that beats your heart and grows your hair and heals your cuts without any conscious effort from you. This same intelligence knows how to bring the right people into your life. It knows how to create the perfect circumstances for your dreams to manifest. It knows how to provide for all your needs in ways that your limited human mind could never devise. When you start living from this place of trust, everything becomes effortless. You stop trying to make things happen and start allowing them to happen. You stop pushing doors and start walking through the ones that open naturally. You stop chasing people and start attracting them. You stop forcing outcomes and start surrendering to outcomes that are far better than anything you could have planned. This surrender is not passive resignation. It is active faith. It is the recognition that there is a power greater than your personal will that is working on your behalf. This power has resources you do not have access to. It can see possibilities you cannot see. It can arrange circumstances in ways that would be impossible for you to orchestrate on your own. Think about the timing of the most important events in your life. Think about how you met the people who have had the greatest impact on you. Think about how you found yourself in situations that changed everything. Were these the result of your careful planning, or did they seem to happen almost by themselves? Most likely they occurred through a series of seeming coincidences that brought you to exactly the right place at exactly the right time. This is how life works when you are in alignment with your true nature. This is how opportunities present themselves when you are not desperately seeking them. This is how abundance flows when you are not grasping for it. The universe operates on principles of harmony and balance, and when you align yourself with these principles, you become part of the flow rather than swimming against it. Many people miss their good because they are looking for it in the wrong places or expecting it to come in the wrong form. They have such specific ideas about how their life should unfold that they cannot recognize the gifts that are actually being offered to them. They want love, but they reject it when it comes from an unexpected source. They want success, but they turn down opportunities that do not match their preconceived notions of what success should look like. Flexibility is essential. Openness is crucial. You must be willing to receive your good in whatever package it arrives in. Sometimes the person who becomes your closest companion will initially seem like just an acquaintance. Sometimes the job that transforms your career will seem like just a temporary position. Sometimes the opportunity that changes everything will disguise itself as a minor inconvenience. Life has a sense of humor. It often delivers our greatest blessings in wrapping paper we would never choose. This is why judgment is so dangerous. When you judge something as bad or wrong or not what you wanted, you might be rejecting the very thing you have been asking for. When you remain open and curious instead of closed and judgmental, you give life permission to surprise you in wonderful ways. The people who are meant to be in your life will reveal themselves gradually. They will show up when you need them most, often in the most unexpected ways. Some will stay for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. Each will bring you exactly what you need at exactly the right time. Your job is not to force these connections, but to be open to them when they appear. The same is true for abundance and luxury. They may come through traditional channels like career advancement and investment returns, but they may also come through gifts, inheritances, partnerships, or opportunities you never could have imagined. The universe has infinite ways to provide for you, but you must be open to receiving from all possible sources. Sometimes abundance comes in the form of needs being met rather than wants being fulfilled. You might worry about a big expense, only to find that someone offers you exactly what you need for free. You might stress about how you will afford something, only to discover a discount or a payment plan or help from an unexpected source. The universe is constantly conspiring to support you, but you must be awake enough to notice and grateful enough to receive. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. When you are truly grateful for what you already have, you send out a signal that says, I recognize and appreciate good things when they come to me. This makes you a magnet for more good things. But when you focus on what is missing, when you complain about what you do not have, you send out a signal that says, I am not satisfied with what life gives me. This repels the very things you want most. The practice of gratitude must be genuine, not forced. You cannot fake gratitude and expect it to work. But when you look for things to appreciate, when you focus on what is working in your life instead of what is not working, genuine gratitude arises naturally. And with that gratitude comes a sense of abundance that attracts even more reasons to be grateful. This is how you build momentum in the direction of your dreams. You start by appreciating what you already have. You acknowledge the progress you have already made. You recognize the support you have already received. You celebrate the victories you have already won, even the small ones. This creates a positive energy that draws more positive experiences to you. Most people do the opposite. They minimize their achievements. They focus on how far they still have to go instead of how far they have already come. They take their blessings for granted and magnify their problems. This creates a negative energy that attracts more problems and delays the arrival of their good. You have the power to change this pattern right now. You can choose to focus on what is good in your life. You can choose to appreciate the people who love and support you. You can choose to acknowledge your own strengths and talents. You can choose to be grateful for your health, your abilities, your opportunities, your experiences, both good and challenging. When you do this consistently, when you make appreciation your dominant mental habit, you will be amazed at how quickly your external circumstances begin to shift. You will start noticing good things you overlooked before. You will start attracting people who appreciate you. You will start finding opportunities in places you never looked before. This shift happens because you are changing your energy. And energy is everything. Everything in the universe is made of energy vibrating at different frequencies. When you vibrate at the frequency of gratitude, appreciation, and love, you attract experiences that match that frequency. When you vibrate at the frequency of worry, complaint, and fear, you attract experiences that match that frequency instead. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a creator of your circumstances through the energy you consistently emit. This is both humbling and empowering. It means you have more control over your life than you might have realized. But it also means you must take responsibility for the energy you are putting out into the world. The good news is that you can change your energy at any moment. You can shift from worry to trust, from lack to abundance, from fear to love, from resistance to allowing. It starts with a simple choice to focus on something that feels better. It starts with asking yourself, what can I appreciate right now, instead of what is wrong with my life? This is not about denying problems or pretending everything is perfect. This is about recognizing that you always have a choice about where to place your attention. You can focus on problems, or you can focus on solutions. You can focus on what is missing, or you can focus on what is present. You can focus on what might go wrong, or you can focus on what might go right. Where you place your attention determines your experience of life. It determines what you attract. It determines how you feel. It determines what actions you take. And your actions, taken consistently over time, determine your destiny. The right people and luxuries are not just coming to you randomly. They are being attracted by the person you are becoming. They are responding to the energy you are emitting. They are drawn to the love you are expressing, the confidence you are developing, the peace you are cultivating, the joy you are experiencing. This is why personal growth is so important. Not because there is something wrong with you that needs to be fixed, but because there is something magnificent within you that wants to be expressed. As you become more of who you really are, you naturally attract the people and experiences that are aligned with your authentic self. The process of becoming who you really are is the greatest adventure you will ever undertake. It requires courage to be different from what others expect. It requires faith to follow your inner guidance even when it does not make logical sense. It requires patience to allow your dreams to unfold in their own perfect timing. But the rewards are beyond anything you can currently comprehend. When you are living as your authentic self, life becomes magical. Doors open that you did not even know existed. People appear who understand you completely. Opportunities arise that seem designed specifically for you. Money flows more easily because you are doing what you love. Love flows more freely because you are being who you really are. This is your natural state. This is how life is supposed to feel. This is what you are moving toward with every choice you make, to be more authentic, more loving, more trusting, more grateful. The right people and luxuries are not just coming to you, they are being drawn to the magnificent being you are becoming.